Okay, so parents will definitely feel me on this. Soapically Kidlet number two is out with a group of her friends. There's like six of them, right? And they're at the zoo. And the parent that I sent her with is, one of my girlfriends, and I know them and fine. But as I was coming in here to do the thing, I just got a text message come through on the phone. And, just the first little blurb of the text message. You know how texts work said, "Hi, is this Scout's mom? This is dot 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 Alex's mom." And I immediately like froze. Like, oh no, what happened? My kid is hurt, they're injured, it's terrible. What do I do? And heart just stopped. Scout's fine, completely and totally fine. The mom just wanted to send through some pictures to me and, made an introduction before just dumping pictures. So it's fine. But parents understand that, I think. Also, all sudsers in the chat, go ahead and drop me your best, you were terrified for a split second, scary children stories so I don't feel alone. That would be awesome. We're not making anything involving the kids today. We are doing that tomorrow, though. But I will tell you what we are making in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 305 of 365 days of soap, and today we are doing another Nailed It challenge. And this Nailed It challenge is from an episode that was called like Out of This World or something like that, and the brief was to make a cupcake spaceship. And so that's what we're doing. And after yesterday's kind of disastrous attempt, I am hoping that, the cupcake is going to go more smoothly and I will be able to figure this out because, this one shouldn't be hard. But, let's get to the video and see how I fared today. Okay, so part 2, right, in the Nailed It series, we are doing a spaceship from an episode titled Out of This World or some such thing. And I showed you the picture earlier, what the brief is. And I know some of these pictures are going to be weird because I just took a picture of my TV during the episode, because a lot of these pictures are hard to find online. And I'm really hoping that doesn't mean that they're going to flag my video or something for using somebody else's stuff, really. But anyway, so I started this out with pouring cold process into one of my silicone cupcake molds, as you saw. And now I am rolling out some of the soap dough that we made with the soap dough recipe a few weeks ago, and just kind of going about 1.5 inches bigger than the top of the cupcake to make my rounded top thing. Now, for the rounded top thing and how I'm going to make it rounded, I am going to use as soon as I can get this off of the counter. I'm learning so much, you guys. Dust your counters first. Put something down. Some baking soda, some cornstarch, something. Still have not, found anything for really making. I haven't found my extruders. I haven't found a press. Although, that's not true. I found a press. And Yeah, so that right there, I'm using half of a bath bomb mold to create the top, and I'm just gonna leave it in there because we talked about it before. A lot of these recipes require massive amounts of fondant, so soap dough, fondant, check check, and also massive amounts of Rice Krispie treats. They put Rice Krispie treats in everything and then just cover it with fondant. And I didn't have Rice Krispie treats. I could have just put in, more soap, a big old block of soap dough or something in the middle, but I didn't. I just put half of a bath bomb mold in there because, why not? And now I'm just going to sort of, you know, try to make it all stick. Now, yeah, so I did find an old pasta press, like a hand cranked pasta press that I have had since like 2008, and I used one time in 2008. And look how cute that is. Look, it's already coming together, guys. This one's going to be awesome for sure. But yeah, I found an old pasta press that I've used one time, just one time. And I found it, but I didn't find the handle to do the crank. And so now Mr. Soap and Clay is on the hunt throughout all of his tools to find a big enough flathead screwdriver to act as a crank. So, maybe we'll be successful. And I am using a boba straw to cut a bunch of little circles for this because I can't find my extruders. None extruders. I can find none extruders. And actually, that's not true. I did find one extruder, but I couldn't find any of the little plates. So I'm having a great time, really, with all of this. I mean, I actually am having a great time. This is a lot of fun, but an easier way to do this would have been almost any other way than I did it. But, the good news is I didn't need a whole bunch of them, so it only took a couple minutes, and we're just going to kind of press them on around the edge there, and then we will paint them with micas later to make them look, silvery and glittery and stuff like the brief. But yeah, that's not bad. All things considered, this is a very quick process so far. And as I said, I've been giving myself a time limit for these things. And for this particular one, I gave myself 20 minutes, and I came in with plenty of time to spare with this one. So yay me. I would have been able to actually manage that in a nailed it, challenge thing. I don't know if I told you about this yesterday. Speaking of the Nailed It challenge, I don't even know if Nailed It is still a show anymore. I think it may have been permanently canceled. I'm not sure. But I was told by my sister-in-law that you have to have a social media following to even apply to be on Nailed It. And she knows this because she's been obsessed and has been looking into this for like years. And like she's obsessed. She super wants to go on Nailed It because she likes making these really crazy, over-the-top, artsy cakes. And, so she wanted to go try her hand, at the show. And I guess you have to have a social media following to do it. Net, I might, if it's still a show that's going on. So far, this isn't terrible. So I might decide to go on Nailed It and maybe for a sister episode, and I can bring my sister-in-law around. That'd be fun, right? Yeah, because the thing about like actually being on the Nailed It show, I don't know how to bake. Like I am not a good baker. And I also don't know how to art. But doing this in soap form, I'm arting, I think, pretty close to how you would be arting for the show. Again, lots of fondant and like chocolate and stuff like that. Stuff that I don't normally put on cakes because I just like a tasty cake. And so usually my cakes look really ugly, but they taste decent. I mean, I think. Oh. But yeah, no, this is all, I think being on Nailed It would be fun. But again, I don't even know if that's a show anymore. Now for this part here, again, this was just a part that was on the brief, just a band of white underneath all of this. And then I have the spaceship legs on. And whenever things aren't really sticking well, I'm just spritzing it with rubbing alcohol, which is softening all of the soaps involved and going from there. And actually to this particular this white that I'm working with right now, this white is not actually soap dough. You saw me make the soap dough recipe a few weeks ago, and I did not do any white, like none. Also, I took a skewer and I wrapped it in black fondant, and now I'm trying to make the little antenna thing on top. So that's that. But yeah, no, this particular, the white here is not soap dough, really. Like it was not meant to be soap dough. What it is, it's one half of each of the bars from the weird test with the SCI and the SLSA and the BTMS, right? So since a couple of those bars broke anyway, I just broke all of them in half and saved one half so we can test that lather later. And the rest of it, I just, I just kneaded it out and then wrapped it up in, plastic wrap and made soap dough. So I've said it before, you can make soap dough out of almost anything, including like your little trimmings for people that bevel and stuff, and they have all those little, shreds of soap left over as a result. Including that, if you're beveling early enough, you can totally just take that and work it all together really well. Maybe put a little bit of glycerin in it if it's overly dry, knead it all together, and then wrap it up. And you also have soap dough that way. So you don't actually ever really need a specific recipe for soap dough. You just need to keep your soaps that you want to use for soap dough essentially out of open air, so they're not drying out and losing any of the water weight that, really is what makes everything super pliable. So that's what I did for the white, and it was a little bit sticky, so I just added a whole bunch of cornstarch to it, and it totally worked. And now for the final touches, and yeah, we're moving on to different camera angles, which is fun because being in the soap shop with this new setup to do, some different things. As a result, I have like 3 or 4 cameras just kind of hooked up, and so I can do different angles, which is like really cool. But for this, it's kind of weird because you just see a whole bunch of my hand, and maybe it's not bad right now, but it's about to get worse, and it's just going to be giant hand in the middle of all of this. So I don't know, new angle. It's fun. And I am just taking some sparkly mica glitter stuff from Mad Micas and spritzing it with rubbing alcohol and just kind of dabbing it on the white parts to make them silver. And I just took a blue that I liked. I think it was Aphrodite, and made a slurry out of it with, rubbing alcohol and glycerin, and just painted the top of the, spaceship to give it the right, color first, but also the right cool tone and shimmer and all the fun things. And then that's the finished product, and that thing is on top is way too big. That's comically big, but everything sticks together and it worked. And I don't know, I think that one's pretty good. I might be good at this, guys. That's day 305. I think it's cool. I think it's completely awesome. This thing is way too tall. This guy here, way too tall. But for the rest of it, that's cute. I did it. I did it. That's very fun for sure. And that one was a lot easier than figuring out how to do faces and stuff on the pirate yesterday. So I'm not mad at it. I think this one is pretty awesome, and I, nailed it. But I think for real this time, I think this one was good. That's a pretty good attempt there. And it was a lot of fun to make, for sure. I'm actually having a blast with these challenges so far. And I hope you guys are too. That was definitely cool. If you guys are interested in seeing what other creations I do for the Nailed It stuff, as we're picking them out, as we're watching the seasons, some of them are getting pretty wild, and I don't quite know how I'm going to manage it in soap form, but you can subscribe and see how I do. I'm probably going to fail a lot, and it's going to be fun for everyone involved, really. For those of you who are subscribed, hey Sudzers, thank you for being subscribed. You're amazing. I love each and every one of you, and I hope you guys are having fun with the Nailed It Challenge. If you guys have ideas for which ones I should do, let me know. Like, for those that are in the Discord, drop pictures in Discord or whatever. That would be super fun, and I can try to tackle them. Absolutely. For now, I am out of here. I am going to go get myself a nice cup of chamomile tea and let my heart stop beating so fast, because it still is, even though I know Scout's fine. So there's that. But I will see all of you guys again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye. Ew, I waved with this hand. That never happens.